Atomic Kitten are an English pop girl group formed in Liverpool in 1998, consisting of members Liz McClarnon, Natasha Hamilton and Kerry Katona. The group was formed by Orchestral Manoeuvres in the dark frontman Andy McCluskey, who served as a principal songwriter during the band's early years. Sugababes singer Heidi Range was included in the original lineup but was replaced by Hamilton. The group's debut album Right Now was released in October 2000 and peaked at a disappointing number 39 in the UK. After 4 top 10 singles, Katona quit the group and was replaced by former Precious singer Jenny Frost. Whole Again, their next single, became their most successful single when it topped the UK singles chart and became the 13th best-selling single of the 2000s. The group re-released their debut album, with some tracks re-recorded with Frost's vocals which hit number 1 in the UK, with the album going on to sell over 600,000 copies in the UK. Between 2002 and 2004, the group released a further 2 studio albums, Feels So Good and Ladies' Night, and a greatest hits album before announcing a break following their 2004 tour. The group sold over 10 million records worldwide. Their first 2 albums went double platinum in the UK. To date the group have had 3 UK number 1 singles, Whole Again, the 4th best-selling girl group of all time. Eternal Flame, a song originally recorded by the Bangles. And The Tide Is High, a song originally recorded by the Paragons and by Blondie. After making sporadic appearances in 2006 and 2008, it was announced that McClarnon, Hamilton, and Katona would reunite for the ITV2 series The Big Reunion, along with 5 other pop groups of their Tamia Euro Bewitched, 5, Liberty X, Honeys and 911. Frost was unable to take part in the comeback because of pregnancy, but Hamilton has since confirmed that Frost would be welcomed back if she wanted to rejoin the group in the future. History, 1998 to Euro 2001, Formation, Right Now and Katona's departure. Atomic Kitten was first conceived in 1998 by British musician Andy McCluskey, whose globally successful new wave group, Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, had disbanded 2 years before and would remain inactive until 2006. McCluskey explained on BBC Breakfast in 2010, "I left the music industry kicking and screaming in terms of performing, because at the height of indie rock and Britpop, OMD were totally out of fashion. I was conceited enough to think I could still write songs, and founded Atomic Kitten." He has stated that Karl Bartos of Kraftwerk suggested he create a new band as a vehicle for his songs following the dissolution of OMD. McCluskey, also a Merseyside resident, served as a principal songwriter on Atomic Kitten's studio recordings in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The original lineup featured Liz McClarnon, Kerry Katona, and Heidi Range, but Range quit because of artistic difference and moved on to the Sugababes. Meanwhile, she was replaced in Atomic Kitten by Natasha Hamilton. The group's debut single, Right Now, was released in late November 1999 and reached number 10 on the UK singles chart. Their second single, See Off, followed in March 2000 and was an even bigger success, reaching number 6. Following this initial success, Atomic Kitten performed an Asian tour and scored their first number 1 hit there with Cradle. The album, also titled Right Now, was first released in Japan on March 16, 2000 and subsequently released in the United Kingdom on October 23, 2000 following the release of 2 further singles, I Want Your Love, and Follow Me, with a slightly modified track list. In 2000 they also recorded a cover of The Locomotion for the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad. The album was unsuccessful upon its first release, peaking at number 39 on the UK albums chart. There were no initial plans to focus on the global market, and Atomic Kitten's label, Innocent Records, was even considering dropping them because of their limited success. However, the record company was persuaded to let the group release one more single from the album. That single, Whole Again, became their first number 1 hit in the United Kingdom and stayed at the top for 4 consecutive weeks. Due to this success, Whole Again was released globally, and reached number 1 in 18 other countries, including 6 weeks in Germany and New Zealand and 27 weeks at number 1 in the Republic of Moldova. The song and video for Whole Again originally featured Kerry Katona, Katona's vocals were also in Hippie, Get Real, Strangers, and Turn Me On, but several days before the single's release, she left because of her pregnancy. Former Precious singer Jenny Frost replaced her in the lineup and the single's music video was reshot. A US video for Whole Again was also released. Their fourth single was Follow Me. The Katona-Frost switch led to the decision to partially re-record and re-release the Right Now album, which then went to number 1 in the UK in August 2001, and was certified double platinum. The album also reached the top 10 in several European countries, including Germany and Denmark. Their next single, Eternal Flame, a cover of the Bangles' 1989 hit, became their second number 1 single in the UK and New Zealand and is featured in the film The Parole Officer and the So Far So Good DVD. Atomic Kitten's first album was repackaged with 3 brand new tracks, Eternal Flame, You Are, and Tomorrow and Tonight, and includes vocals from Jenny Frost in Whole Again. It became their biggest single in France, peaking at number 2, and eventually went gold. In late 2001, the band announced they would be releasing a final single from the repackaged album, You Are. A video was recorded and promo singles were sent out to radio, but the single was ultimately shelved, never getting a full commercial release. That same year, Right Now was featured in Konami's hit arcade video game, Dance Dance Revolution. 5th MIXA Deluxe Edition of Right Now was also released with extra tracks including Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, Holiday, Real Life, and Dancing in the Street, includes remixes for I Want Your Love, Right Now, Eternal Flame, Whole Again, You Are, See Ya, and Follow Me, plus 8 music videos and live performances. 2002 03, third lineup, Feels So Good and International Breakthrough. Following the success of Right Now, a new album, Feels So Good, was recorded. The songwriting and production agreement with Andy McCluskey was an increasing source of tension within the group, and McCluskey departed halfway through the recording of the album. Released tracks from the studio album were It's Okay, The Tide Is High, The Last Goodbye, Love Doesn't Have to Hurt, and Be With You. The unreleased single was Feels So Good, sung by Kylie Minogue and Atomic Kitten. The Last Goodbye was the third single from their second studio album, Feels So Good, and Be With You was from their third album, Ladies' Night. The first single, It's Okay, peaked at number 3 in the United Kingdom. The next single was The Tide Is High, a remake of the 1965 song by the Paragons that Blondie covered in 1980, which gave the group their third number 1 single in the UK and New Zealand. In April 2002, Hamilton announced that she was pregnant but opted to continue with the scheduled 2002 tour, appear in the Tide Is High video, and appear at Party in the Park before going on maternity leave. There was also a Feels So Good medley live at Party in the Park including Be With You, The Tide Is High, It's Okay, Feels So Good, The Moment You Leave Me, and The Last Goodbye. During January and February 2003, Atomic Kitten toured Southeast Asia, visiting Singapore, Thailand, and Korea. Hamilton, who had given birth to her son Josh on August 24, 2002, brought him on the tour. 2003 04, Ladies' Night, Hamilton's departure and split. In April 2003, the album Atomic Kitten was released in the United States, which consisted of tracks from their first 2 albums. The album was unsuccessful, although The Tide Is High appeared on the soundtrack for the Disney Channel original movie The Lizzie McGuire Movie. Following this, the group opted to focus solely on the European, Oceanian, South African and Asian markets. Before recording their third album, Kool and the Gang approached the group about a collaboration for their album of duets, Odyssey. Kool and the Gang wanted to record an updated version of their hit Ladies' Night, and were looking for a girl group to sing the lyrics. Atomic Kitten liked the idea and inquired whether they could use it for their next album, which was subsequently named Ladies' Night in honor of this collaboration. Released tracks would Be With You, If You Come to Me, Ladies' Night, and the final single released was Someone Like Me. Unreleased tracks such as I Won't Be There, Always Be My Baby etc. Their first single of the album, excluding Be With You, was If You Come to Me. It peaked at number 3 on the UK Top 40. Atomic Kitten spent late 2002 and early 2003 in the studio recording their third and final studio album. Up until the recording of Ladies' Night, the group mainly relied on songwriters, though they had occasionally co-written songs featured on their albums. While recording Ladies' Night, they decided to be directly involved in the creation of 8 of the 15 songs. Ladies' Night was released on November 10, 2003 and peaked at number 5 in the UK album chart. It was certified platinum for sales in excess of 300,000 copies. The album released the group including Be With You, Ladies' Night, and If You Come To Me. A deluxe edition of her third album was released with extra tracks including remixes of Be With You, Ladies' Night and Someone Like Me. In early 2004, a tour to support the Ladies' Night album and the upcoming release of their greatest hits album was planned. Shortly before the tour kicked off, the group announced they would be taking an extended break after the completion of the tour. After the group's 2012 reunion, it was revealed during the big reunion that Hamilton quit the group under the pressure of being a new mum and touring, which later led to the band splitting because they didn't want to replace Hamilton. 2004 Euro 12, occasional one-off appearances and solo projects. In January 2004, Hamilton announced she wanted to take a hiatus from the group and devote more time to her young son. Atomic Kitten released the double A-side single Someone Like Me / Right Now 2004 as a goodbye to their fans, but were reunited on Valentine's Day 2005 to release the charity single Cradle 2005, a new version of the original song from their album Right Now, which was a #1 hit in Asia back in 2000. Cradle 2005 inches peaked at number 10, selling 35,000 copies worldwide, with proceeds going to World Vision. In 2005, Atomic Kitten were featured on the soundtrack of Disney's Mulan 2 with the song, I Wanna Be Like Other Girls. In 2005, they also performed together in Krakow on August 28 at the Coca-Cola Soundwave Festival. In 2006, they released a cover version of the Farm song All Together Now. It became a charity single for the 2006 FIFA World Cup and was released only in German-speaking countries. It peaked inside the German top 20. The group reunited in December 2006 for the Nokia New Year's Eve Music Festival, performing in Hong Kong on December 31, 2006. They once again reunited to perform at the #1 project at the Liverpool Echo Arena on January 19, 2008, which celebrated Liverpool's year as European Capital of Culture and the fact that Liverpudlian artists have had a collective 56 UK #1 singles. Also to mark the event, the same month the group released a cover of Anyone Who Had a Heart, which peaked at number 78 on the UK singles chart. Although a reunion was due to surface after reuniting in 2008, it never materialised and the girls continued with solo projects. Hamilton gave birth to her third son Alfie in June 2010. Frost presented the first 4 series of Snog Marry Avoid. Andy McCluskey presented Hotter Than My Daughter and also appeared at the Liverpool Empire in December 2012 alongside Colleen Nolan in Cinderella. 2012 a Euro 13, reformation of original lineup, the big reunion and touring. In March 2012, Hamilton confirmed that the group were reuniting for a summer tour, and that they would love to perform at the Diamond Jubilee concert. She also stated that the group were in talks to star in their own reality television show regarding the comeback, following on the success of the 2011 Steps reunion and reality show. Hamilton stated that she hoped Katona, who quit the band in 2001, would join her, McCluskey and Frost on stage for a performance. The reunion was later dismissed by all members due to the fight between Katona and Frost. However, on October 18, 2012, it was announced that the original lineup of Atomic Kitten would reunite for an ITV2 series along with 5 other pop groups of their time: a Euro 911, Honeys, Bewitched, 5 and Liberty X. Frost was not involved because she was expecting twins, whom she gave birth to in January 2013. On November 20, the girls were spotted leaving a recording studio together. The Daily Mail reported that they were seen filming their reformation for the big reunion. In an interview with the Radio Times on January 29, the group confirmed that they would continue their reunion beyond the one-off performance with Katona, saying it's been so much fun so far, why wouldn't we continue it? We came into this knowing we'd have a bit of a laugh, but not that it would be this much fun, so why would we stop when it's been so good? Watch this space. They also confirmed that Frost had been involved in early meetings to reform the group but decided to focus on her pregnancy. The group later confirmed that the setlist would consist of Right Now, See Ya, I Want Your Love, Whole Again, It's Okay, Be With You, and The Tide Is High. On February 1, 2013, the group were interviewed on This Morning discussing the reformation. The bands were originally only supposed to perform a one-off concert at London's Hammersmith Apollo on February 26, 2013, but when the entire show sold out in under 5 minutes shortly after the premiere of the first episode on January 31, 2013, rumours circulated that the show may become a full arena tour around the UK. On February 11, it was confirmed that, due to high ticket demands and the popularity of the big reunion, a UK arena tour would be taking place from May 14, 2013. 2 more dates were later added for 16th and 17th May, taking the tour total to 14 shows. Due to the massive success of the big reunion, it was announced that the bands would also be going on a Christmas party tour in December 2013. In December 2013, Atomic Kitten recorded their first new material in 10 years when, along with the other groups from the show, they recorded a Christmas charity single for Text Santa. 2013 A Euro Present, Current Projects and Uncertain Future. On February 17, 2013, Atomic Kitten made an appearance on the Alan Titchmarsh Show and Katona announced that the group have signed a deal to release their own perfume fragrance. Hamilton later added that they would be releasing new material, saying, "We've already been in the studio, we want to write some more music, so it's all very exciting." On March 14, Hamilton confirmed yet again that the group would release new material, saying there is definitely going to be a single and there will be an album, hopefully. Also speaking about their fragrance deal, she added, "We have got a perfume deal, we are going to be releasing our own Atomic Kitten fragrance. Right Now, The Tide Is High, and Whole Again are taken from the big reunion album. It's going to be 3 different smells to represent the 3 of us. Fans will get the 3 in one packet. We went to the company's offices and created our fragrances." Hamilton has stated that Frost will be welcome back if she wants to rejoin the group in the future. On March 27, Hamilton tweeted, "I'm off the studio to vocal at Atomic official potential comeback single. Could today get any more freaking exciting? At the Health Lottery Champagne Tea at Claridge's in London," she said, "we actually recorded our new single last night. We've literally just done it. I got out of the studio at 11 p.m. and I couldn't stop singing the song. I couldn't get to sleep, I was in bed, singing. It's modern, so we've progressed. That's all I can say right now. If there's a single, there's definitely going to be an album." The group featured on the big reunion charity Christmas single I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, peaking at number 13. Following the announcement of Katona's pregnancy, the group confirmed that they were unsure of the group's future, or if any new material would be released. Liz McClarnon announced on April 6 that Atomic Kitten would be touring with East 17 and All Saints and Others in November 2014. The next week it was announced that unforeseen circumstances had cancelled the tour. Discography. Tours, members, note, those in bold are current members. References. External links, official website, Atomic Kitten et al. Music.